For the week of September 2nd, where our motto is likely helpful, definitely entertaining. Glad to be back to, and I heard there was some rapping going on. I haven't gotten caught up. Nice job on that. Hey.
You know, when like I had said on that show, boy, when the cat's away, the mice will play.
Nice. That's
Never
awesome.
leave me again. That's what you get.
Well, what are we talking about today, Tanya?
Well, you know, originally we were gonna talk about the PPPs never going away, but you know what? I'm pretty tired of talking about the PPP right now. So instead, we're gonna talk about how to master your body language. Okay. Yeah, because I've not mastered it, but we're gonna go there anyway. If you're on the west side of the U.S., business must be better there, right? We're gonna tell you why, and why do buyers look, or what do buyers look for in each deal size? Or what do buyers look like in each deal size? I'll get it. Anyway, but first, Paul, I hear you.
Yes. So I have been gone for 2 weeks, finishing up my master's in banking at Pacific Coast Banking School. Three-year program. Pretty much you can call it CEO school. I learned how to run a bank, and at the very end, you actually run a bank for 2 weeks. So it was super fun and highly recommended for all bankers out there to get through one of these programs. They're scattered throughout the country. But yeah, definitely do that. One of the electives that I took was cybersecurity. And at first I was like, cybersecurity, I'm so tired of hearing about that at work, right? But you know what? It was the best class that I ever took out of the 3 years of my program. And here's why. So shout out, by the way, to Sherry Davidoff, CEO of LMG Security, who taught the class. Great job. And I knew it was going to be good when she walked into the class and she had a shirt on that just said hacker. I was like, ooh.
Personality.
Right. So she is a professional hacker. And she was literally throughout this week, she was sharing with us why cybersecurity is so important. You know, just this last week and the week before, SeaTac, Seattle Tacoma Airport, got hit. And so I think I don't know if it's still going on or not, frankly. I didn't have to fly, thank God. But what was interesting about this is those phishing emails that everyone talks about. We all get those. We all are hounded on those from our employer, right? But what's really interesting is most cyber attacks happen the Friday before a holiday weekend. So the good news is I haven't heard anything yet from this long weekend, but I bet you sometime today we will learn about some sort of hack, because that's when they do it. So we'll see if that's correct. So be really careful on those emails. You know, during this class, they actually showed us, went on the black web or dark web, and showed us how easy it is to get information from people. Did you know, Tanya, that there is a price for you and your information? Just Tanya Mazurek. And guess how much you're worth on the dark web? Would you like to?
A lot.
You are worth $15, Tanya.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm moving up in this world.
Right. So you can go on the web, get Tanya's information for $15.
No.
And then guess how much it is to buy the program to do what you need to do? $15 to $20. That's all it takes. It's insane. It's insane. And I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. So I definitely want to make sure you guys are being very careful out there. Patelco Credit Union was a credit union that got hit by a cyber attack because one of their employees clicked on the damn email and shut them down, and God knows what's going to happen with them, but they are still dealing with the drama on that. So the bottom line, guys, is it's a serious thing. Please take a look at it. After what I experienced, I literally spent hours changing my passwords to something different because I was just so paranoid after that class. It was really good.
After this, I want to hear it.
Oh yeah, it was pretty good. So just don't be one of those people that click on the email, and because good luck getting another job in finance if you do.
If the president of your bank is sending something in there, it doesn't have a signature line, and can you do this for me really fast? Click here or something. Yeah, I've gotten this. Anyway, don't do it.
That's right. Don't do it.
Awesome.
All right, Tanya.
Well, yes. Let me get this pulled up here because it's really interesting. We're going to talk about how to master your body language. And I'm going to do everything wrong and right to a degree. But basically what it's talking about is there's way more to communication than just your words. And on the personal side and the business side, guys, we all know this, right? Body language actually accounts for 55%. 55% of what you're trying to convey. Tone of voice is the other 38%. Only 7% are your words. So, yeah, I can get that. I can get that job done for you, or I can get that deal done for you. Be careful, right? Right? Maybe look at a few other things than just the words that are coming behind it. So let's go into it here. If you're on camera, okay, I'm gonna pull this up. If you're on camera, don't do this, which is what I sometimes have to do when I'm reading something, but don't stare off screen or avoid eye contact, stare aggressively, right? Do make eye contact 2/3 of the time. Yeah, it's okay to look away as long as you get back to the camera, which is true. I mean, we all have to look away. Otherwise, it's like, anyway, you don't want to do that. All right. Don't hide behind your hands, rest on your head, or be a floating head,
Oh, yeah.
Yep,
That's
right?
a pet peeve of mine. Yeah.
Right. Do show your hands, frame your head and torso, so like, have everything framed within the camera. So you do want to do that. Don't lean too far back or get too low and close or close and personal. Can you see my pores? Anyway, don't do that. Do frame at eye level, sit at a comfortable distance or stand at a comfortable distance where it's eye level. And okay, the really fun one that I like is in person or on stage. Don't sway or run randomly or uncomfortably. I mean, you see that all the time.
Yep.
Where they're just, it's so, it drives me crazy. Don't pace back and forth like a caged animal. Do stand firmly, feet shoulder width apart, and move with purpose. So, if you've got something to say, move with it and say something with it, but don't just do it because you think that you got to move a little bit instead of standing still. Don't steeple your hands. All right, people. We're going to talk today. Don't do that, right? Keep hands in your pockets at all times. I don't know that I can do that. Do stand tall, use expansive gestures to project authority. All right. Don't keep a poker face. Now, lordy, I can't do it. If I'm playing poker, I can keep a poker face, but that's the only time you should keep a poker face, guys. Otherwise, use natural expressions, which I think I got that one down pat. And don't clench your hands, or hold one hand with the other. I've seen that a lot. Drives me absolutely batty. Do use open gestures to explain what you're saying. I've also seen people sometimes where they only use one hand and then it's coming into the screen. And I'm like, what are they doing? It drives me nuts. Okay. Don't repeat the same gesture. Oh, there it is. Don't repeat the same gestures. Point fingers, which can be perceived as aggressive because you did it, Paul. You did it. That was aggressive. You left me, Paul. Anyway, do vary up your gestures, use open body language, and show that you're listening. So, you know what? These were great. I saw these on LinkedIn. Actually, they were under Dr. Travis Bradbury's post, but I think he posted it, and it was from Nasheen Chin. I believe I'm saying that right. If not, please forgive. But Nasheen Chin, thank you for these. I think they're great. Anyway.
That was awesome. That was a good find, and I do wish people would take a look at this, especially as
why?
Right, as I've sat through, many things the last 2 weeks. Yes, there was a lot of violations here.
Paul, I don't think you and I have any issue with, I think, the expressions, though. I think
right. I mean, everyone wants to play poker with me.
Oh, that's awesome. Anyway.
Well, hey, coming to our next one here, business formations predicted to increase in Western states. And this was from Delaney Sexton at the Coleman report. But in July 2024, the U.S. Census report said there was almost 421,000 business applications. Damn, that's a lot of applications.
Yes, it is.
45% of the business applications in July of 2024 were from the South. And most of the quarters were in the West. So the bottom line is, if you are on the West, which by the way is defined as like Washington, Oregon, California, Arizona, Utah, and even Alaska and Hawaii are considered in that, is definitely up. So if you're a lender on the West side, you should obviously see probably a little bit more activity within your startups if you do those. And just out of curiosity, Tanya, do you do startups? Non-franchise startups?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Do you?
It's got to be pretty. It's got to be really pretty.
Right.
So,
well, I mean, obviously you've got to get through what makes us happy and whatnot. But
correct.
We'll absolutely do startups. That is our niche.
Yeah. But they're saying in general, new business formations are projected to decline, but Western is the only one that is anticipated to grow. So just keep that in mind as you're out prospecting. The West, which I know because I'm in Washington, is the place to be.
Wow.
And Colorado too. Colorado does fit into that too. So, okay. So both of us, we're good.
Got it. Oh, well, that's good. I didn't know Colorado did. That's good to know. Let's see here. Well, the next one, I think I'm going to pull this up a little bit bigger here so I can see it, is what do buyers look like by deal size? And I think I found this one really interesting. It actually was shared to us or with us. We found from Ryan at Washington Business Brokers. And it's the IBBA
market pulse. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget them.
I didn't. I was getting there. Just slower than you, Paul. Anyway, what do buyers look like by deal size? We're going to talk about under 500,000, 500,000 to 1 million, 1 million to 2 million, 2 million to 5, and 5 to 50. It was interesting to me to read this actually, because, and I'm going to kind of go section by section, but across the board, because I think that's how it needs to be. So the first item that they're looking at is the first time buyer. Yeah, there's other things to it, but I'm going to just focus on first time buyer. First time buyer in under 500,000 is 41%. Serial entrepreneur. Now that comes into handy is the 500,000 to 1 million. The serial entrepreneur kind of tops the list at 36%. Goes back to first time buyer at 43% for 1 million to 2 million, 2 million to 5, serial entrepreneur again, which is interesting to me, 38%. Mm-hmm. And then check this out, at 5 million to 50 million, it goes to the PE firms seeking add-ons at 33%. I just found that kind of interesting because it goes back and forth dependent on the size. And I get why. So we're going to go through that a little bit more. Motivated to buy a job. All right, this one's a biggie. Motivated to buy a job in the under 500,000 is 44%. Well, that makes sense. Look at what they typically are buying, right? And they're working in the industry, so they're buying their paycheck in a lot of ways. Motivated to buy a job in the 500 to 1 million is 32%. In the 1 million to 2 million, it's 45%. And the 2 million to 5 million, buy a job is 31%. But then we also add in on this one, better return on investment. So that's the 2 million to 5 million. So that makes sense to me a little bit too. I'm sure it does to you as well, Paul. And then the horizontal add-on is 56% when it comes to the PEs in those large 5 million to 50 million range. Okay, so the one that I found really, really cool, under 5 million, under 500,000, pretty much all of them, under 500,000, 500 to 1 million, 1 million to 2 million, and 2 million to 5 million typically are all located, or the highest percentage is located within 20 miles of the actual business that they're trying to purchase. Makes sense. They're buying a job. They don't want to drive too far if they're going to be looking at it, right?
Yep.
it goes to over 100 miles as the higher percentage, 44%, when you get to the 5 million to 50 million range. I found that rather interesting, right?
Yeah.
If your business is worth 5 million or more, your buyer will be further afield. And so how that kind of comes into play with brokers is, if they're on the smaller amounts and whatever, you might want to be finding a broker or a firm, right, that has a great local presence. Otherwise, some of those bigger deals, you're going to be looking for a strong national or international presence. So that was kind of interesting. The other thing to add to that is, under 500,000, let's say that's typically like the restaurants, consumer goods, personal services, that type thing. 500 to 1 million, personal services, restaurants, health and biotech. 1 million to 2 million, personal services, construction and engineering and business services. And then 2 million to 5 million, construction, restaurants, manufacturing. Now, the reason I say all those first before the last one is because it makes sense. More so buying a job, you're working in it day to day.
Agreed.
The highest at 5 million to 50 million, construction and engineering and manufacturing, business services, that type thing. So
makes sense.
Anyway, I just found that quite interesting. So
yeah, that's very interesting. I sent that to my entire team because I wanted them to take a look at that because it is very interesting.
Very interesting. And yes, Paul sent that to me. So I thought that was very interesting. Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan, for posting.
Thank you. Exactly. All right, guys. Well, I think that's today's show. So if you want the news as soon as it breaks, you can watch it live here on LinkedIn and or YouTube, or get caught up on all your streaming platforms or wherever you watch your podcast. If you've got something to talk about, we'd love to hear from you. You can reach out to Paul or I via LinkedIn and message us there. You can reach out via an email at sbatoday@artofsba.com. And go over and watch our partner over there at Art of SBA Lending. Yeah, Mr. Ray Drew. Go check him out at times too. Anyway, have a great day and we'll see you guys next week.
See you later.
Yeah.